we'll go over explaining the TOEFL speaking scores. A student sent me this. She took the TOEFL exam. She needed 100 and was 2 points short. And looking at the score, she did really strongly in the listening section at 26. She also did really strongly in the writing section. So these two sections, I said, let's just keep it. You are very strong in those. We can get the points in other areas. Where is she doing poorly on, or where can she improve? And that's here in the reading, and also a little short on the speaking. So let's take a look at her speaking scores. Here, the speaking score, the highest range that you can get is a 26 to 30. So here she's 2 points lower. If she just got those 2 points in the speaking, she would have her 100. Here in the reading, here in the writing section, it's a little bit different. So the highest range here would be 24 to 30. So she's doing very strong in writing. So I said, okay, let's go through her speaking scores. They come in 4 different levels. So the first level would be good. This is important. When you see good, it's the top level. It's a score range of 26 to 30. If you see fair, it's going to be 18 to 25, just slightly below. Still a strong score. I see many students are in this range for fair. Then we get to limited, would be anywhere from 10 to 17 score. And finally, at the lowest, we have weak, which is a 0 to 9 score. Weak students usually, it's difficult to understand their pronunciation, and it's also maybe they don't understand the question and didn't answer it quite well. So let's take a look at the scores that my student got. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you get your TOEFL score back. And we can see that there are 3 columns: speaking about familiar topics, speaking about campus situations, and speaking about academic course content. So in the top row here, speaking about familiar topics, that's going to relate to independent speaking questions. The first 2 questions on the speaking section. Questions number 1 is the free choice, and question number 2 is the paired choice. I remember the student studied a lot for these and practiced a lot. So she felt really confident going in to these 2 sections. You can see that she got the top score here. Here, speaking about campus situations, this is going to relate to the integrated TOEFL questions, which are questions number 3 and 5. So it skips. So 3 and 5 are related to campus situations. Remember, question 3 is you read an announcement from a university and then listen to 2 students have a conversation about that. And question number 5 is 2 students speaking and one has a problem, and you have to give your opinion on the best solution. The last bottom row that we have here, speaking about academic course content. This relates to the integrated TOEFL questions 4 and 6, which most students have their difficulty is in question number 4 and 6. These are the 2 hardest questions on the TOEFL exam. So question 4 is, remember, you're going to read a short reading and then listen to a lecture about the same topic, and then you have to speak. Question number 6 at the end is very straightforward. All you have to do is listen to a lecture and give the main points of the lecture. However, it can be very tricky because it involves listening about an academic subject and having to speak on the main points. So I find students have the most trouble with speaking about academic course content. So now we can take a look here at the same, what do they mean? So we're looking at your performance here. So speaking about familiar topics, my student did quite well. Got a high score here. Like I said, practiced a lot. We can see here, overall, your speech is clear and fluent. Your use of vocabulary grammar is effective with only minor errors. So your ideas are generally well developed and expressed coherently. No problem there. Really worked hard, got the highest level there. You can see in campus situations and academic course content, they had a fair. So they were the second level, not the top level, but the second to top level. And I wanted to take a look at kind of the notes that she got back. So it says, I'm going to read here, your response demonstrates an ability to speak in English about reading material and experiences typically encountered by university students. You are able to convey relevant information about conversations, newspaper articles, and campus bulletins. Very good. Now here's where we get the drop in the level to fair. However, some details are missing or inaccurate. Okay, so some of the details are missing or they are incorrect. Maybe she spoke about something and she got one of the details wrong. Limitations of grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciations at time cause difficulty for the listener. So as she was speaking, maybe she had some incorrect grammar, or she used the wrong word, or just was speaking too fast and it was difficult to understand what she was saying. However, they do not seriously interfere with overall communication. Excellent. So maybe a few points, a little bit difficult to understand, but overall easy to understand. The listener didn't really have too much trouble. So to recap, there were limitations of grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, but overall, really solid score. If we look at the last row here, speaking about academic course content, also fair, but different notes that she got back. So let's take a look here. Here it says, your responses demonstrate that you're able to speak in English about academic reading and lecture material with only minor communication problems. So I feel pretty good about that. Only minor communication problems. Remember, your speaking doesn't have to be perfect. For the most part, your speech is clear and easy to understand. However, some problems with pronunciation and intonation may occasionally cause difficulty for the listener. Remember, pronunciation is how you're saying the words, are you saying them correctly? And intonation is how the rhythm that you're speaking. Do you make it clear that you're asking a question? Does your voice go up when you ask a question, or if you're stating something? And finally, your use of grammar and vocabulary is adequate to talk about the topic. So adequate means it's okay. It's not bad, it's not excellent, it's okay. But some ideas are not fully developed or are inaccurate. So here, like I said, with the academic course content, it's the hardest for students. These are the question number 4 and question number 6 on the listening are really cause a lot of difficulty sometimes. So I think what happened here is that maybe she missed an idea or didn't explain it or just covered the surface of it. Or inaccurate, meaning maybe she understood it incorrectly, and so when she spoke, the information was not exactly correct as it was. So to look at this, really we can see that in the speaking section, it is question number 3, 4, 5, and 6, the last 4 questions that she needs to work on. Now she did quite well. It wasn't limited, but I think that with some practice, that this student could increase it to a higher score. So when I talk to her, I say, let's focus, and we'll go through question 3 and question 5, and also question 4 and question 6, and let's practice those, and let's get those a little bit better, and we can get you to that 100 score that she needs.